Okay, ZBA, we are live and we are recording. Phone lines will remain off. Go for it.
Thank you, Matt, and welcome everyone to the January 17th, 2023 meeting of the East Hampton Town Zoning Board of Appeals. Tonight is a work session, and we'll begin with an administrative application. We have one, and that's for Chew at 14 Phoebe Scoys Road, East Hampton, Suffolk County Tax Map 300-090-02-02. And it's to demolish and replace an existing swimming pool, install a spa, and to replace a pool patio in place and kind within 150 feet of freshwater wetlands. And I think we're going to get help here from Tyler.
Yes. So this is Morgan's application, but I'll be covering it tonight. So this is fairly straightforward application. There's an existing like kidney-shaped swimming pool you can see down here in red that they're going to be replacing with the square shape here. The patio area, which is this like the outer square, is not changing. So it's the same footprint project. They're just sort of changing where and how big the swimming pool is and the shape. Relatively the same size, but there's some few square foot difference just because, you know, based on the shape. They're also removing this wire fence in red, which is in the scenic easement. Obviously it needs to be removed, and replacing it for one that meets the setbacks here. There's some revegetation that's occurring, but that's through the Natural Resources Department. Since it's a fixing of the violation. And they're also removing a pergola, but that's out of jurisdiction. About a third of the swimming pool area is within the 150 feet. So a lot of the project is actually out of jurisdiction entirely. And that's it.
Thank you. Any questions? Board?
I have no questions.
Right ahead.
No. Want me to make a motion?
You have to make a
Oh, we don't have to make a motion. We don't have to make a motion. I thought we did.
Oh, what, do we?
I thought we do for administrative apps.
For an admin, yeah, usually.
Yeah, we do. We usually
Oh,
do.
I'm
Would you
sorry.
like me to?
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
In the matter of the application of Chew. Thank you, Terry. 14 Phoebe Scoys Road, East Hampton, Suffolk County Tax Map number 300-90-2-2. I make a motion that we approve this application going administratively.
Second that. Concur.
And I concur. Thank you. We'll move on to our post-hearing decisions. First one tonight is Shaggy Shag LLC, 774 Montauk Highway, Montauk, Suffolk County Tax Map 300-049-04-05. The size and location is 2,681 square feet. And again, it's at 774 Montauk Highway. Map, Montauk, map number 174, Four Pond Business, Section 1, Block 17, Lot 3, Montauk, Suffolk County Tax Map 300-049-04-05. The description: an appeal of the building inspector's determination dated September 5th, 2022 regarding the use of the existing restaurant. Appellants seek to reverse the building inspector's determination that the nightclub is being operated in a manner that would change the use definition to a nightclub. The relief sought is appeal of the building inspector's determination, again dated September 5th, 2022. The zoning district is Central Business Zone X, flood zone, and the secret class is type 2. And Terry, you want to lead us on this?
Okay, I'll start us off. All right, this hearing was on December 6th of 2022, and the agent was John Tarbett for Shaggy Shag. He went back, there was a lot of discussion in the applicant, the appellant, into a lot of discussion about the 100-year history of the Shagwam restaurant, bar. And they had a lot of affidavits and sent in of various members of the Montauk community from way back, going all the way back to 1947, showing and stating that there was dancing that would go on every once in a while. They would move the tables after the restaurant was closed, and there would be some dancing that was done. There was no zoning at that time. In 1957, zoning first came in, and then in 1984, modern zoning. And in 1996 was the first time that there were definitions added to the zoning code for bar, tavern, nightclub, restaurant. There's also an apartment upstairs at that premises. And the first C of O was in 1974, which was for a permit for an addition to the restaurant. And I believe some additional, I'm not sure if the 96, the 74 permit was for the apartment also. I have to double check that. And the contention here is that since the dancing was there, that they want this board to determine that it was a pre-existing non-conforming use and that it doesn't represent a nightclub use for the Shag today.
Teresa, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to interrupt you. I thought that Shaggy Shag was one of the ones that the applicant asked us to delay the decision on, and I do have an email from John Tarbett asking us to delay the decision on this until 2/7 in order to have a full board present.
I'm not aware of a
Yeah, I was
request.
not made aware of that either. Sorry.
Yeah,
How
there's
were we notified?
via email, and I did send them over. I think they were added to the file this morning. I kept on going back and forth on this actually at our pre-meeting as well. And Britton had asked for this one and the one,
Sunset Cottages.
Sunset Cottages to be moved until there is a full
Well,
board.
John Tarbett was the agent.
Yeah, he sent me an
Was he
email on this.
requesting it?
I mean, I could forward it to the board.
See where the board goes and I don't know.
I don't know. They want to wait.
Well, that's a question for council, isn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he did ask for the waiver to have the benefit of the full board, so that he can have the 5 vote on it. And he did agree to waive it for the 62 days. So I think that we should honor his request in this one and hold off until 2/7.
Okay,
Do we
all
have
right.
to, council, do we have to close the proceeding at this point or just move on?
I think we could just move on. All that was given on the record was a bunch of facts at this point in time, so no opinion yet. So I think we're
True.
February
2/7.
7th.
Okay, thank you. Next on our agenda was previously mentioned Montauk Sunset Cottages, which has been also tabled, postponed until next week. And we'll come then down to our third decision here, which was Love Shack LLC at 73 Louse Point Road, Springs, Suffolk County Tax Map 300-083-03-11.1. The size and location is 72,026 square feet at 73 Louse Point Road, Springs, Suffolk County Tax Map, again, 300-08-03-11.1. Description: to reconstruct in place utilizing vinyl sheathing 205 lineal feet of legally existing bulkheading on a parcel of land that contains tidal wetlands and surface waters. A natural resources special permit pursuant to 255-4-20 of East Hampton Town Code and any other relief necessary. The zoning district is A5 residence, AE flood zone, elevation 7 and 8. The secret class is type 2. And this was in Member Sabris's area, so you can read it off.
Yes, I will. This public hearing was held on October 25th, 2022, with a reconstruction of a 205 linear foot legally existing bulkhead. The survey we are working with was prepared by David Saskis Dated received 12/6/21, last revised 10/20/2021. The agent representing the application was Dan Hall of Land Use Ecological Services, Inc. It was a relatively short hearing because there really was not a construction protocol entered into the record to address the minimal environmental degradation in terms of the procedures. There also was a comment noted by the planning department that the existing bulkhead was not in disrepair, and because of the environmental sensitivity of the area, the work should only occur when necessary. So as a result of that concern, the board also requested an engineer's report to determine if the bulkhead should be replaced. The record was left open for 30 days. There were no callers, and Tyler Borsak spoke on behalf of the planning department. We now have in the record a bulkhead reconstruction protocol from South Shore Docks, Inc., a certified engineer's report recommending replacement after an inspection by Llewellyn Engineering, and a site plan prepared by Land Use Ecological Services. All the documents are dated received 12/6/2022. The subject property is located within Accabonac Harbor, an area of relatively low wave impact, but it does have a fragile marsh ecosystem. I do think that the applicant has addressed the need for replacing the bulkhead, but that being said, Accabonac Harbor is one of the more environmentally sensitive areas in the town. I do think that the applicant has submitted sufficient documentation to successfully complete this project. I think this application is in keeping with 255-551 D, preservation of natural resources, and 255-540 of the town code, D, compatibility, and K, environmental protection. I think all of the recommended project conditions in the technical analysis memo should be implemented into our determination. And also, there should be no disturbance to vegetated tidal wetlands, no construction debris in wetland or adjacent areas, no runoff over or through the bulkhead into the wetland, clean fill only. Fill shall consist of clean sand or soil, no seaward extension of the bulkhead, use of untreated wood, and no interference with navigation. For all the reasons stated, I am in favor of granting this application.
Thank you, Denise.
Thank you.
Joan, would you like to go?
Gosh, so complete. I don't know where to start. I'm in full agreement with Denise. His exposition of the facts, and as she noted, the engineer's report certified that the work needed to be done, which was an issue at the hearing. And I agree that all the conditions in the TAM should be followed. So I'm inclined to approve it.
Thank you, Joan. Terry?
Okay, I too am going to approve the project. Just an additional comment, they have a letter of federal consistency assessment form from the state,
All right.
and they have a New York State DEC permit already. I guess they would need a trustee permit, and I think that they had not yet applied for, so they will still need that.
And they're waiting for us.
Oh, the trustees wanted to
something,
wait
yeah.
for us. Yeah, you're right. And I too think it meets the code. I was concerned at first with the photos sent in that perhaps it didn't really need to be done, but then on the other hand, if someone wants to start repairs before a problem gets to be exacerbated further, I think that's a good idea. So I too am going to approve this project.
Yeah, I'm going to approve the project as well. I had a couple of small points. One was that among the other things that's already been covered by fellow board members is that there is a scenic easement on this property that was conveyed to Nature Conservancy in 1982. And that, of course, will be respected and has to be observed at all times. This is an area of it's a scenic area of statewide significance, which puts it as another special status, which makes it of special concern to us. It's the Nature Conservancy was granted the easement, and they do not oppose the reconstruction of the bulkhead at this time. That's another in their favor. As was mentioned, they have the DEC permit, they have the Army Corps of Engineers letter. And the bulkhead doesn't require significant repair, and that raises the question of why they're doing it. And if they're getting ahead of a future problem, I guess that's to be commended. I would have the same concerns that everyone else on the board has, and that is the photos of this area that were provided by Member Savarese, and just knowing the area in general, we see that it's particularly not only beautiful but sensitive, and so all that work should follow the protocols as were laid out by Member Savarese and are in their documentation. I do think that one advantage possibly here is that I can foresee that the work being done now might cause far less disturbance than if a massive rebuild had to happen and major portions of the bulkhead had to be replaced. But it is an area, as was pointed out, minimum impact. And so going along with the fact that the protocols are now in place, and then looking at the same provisions that everyone else has, 255-5-51D and 1 and 2, and 255-540D and K, I think that it meets all of those qualifications, and I too will approve this application. Is that good, counsel?
Got it.
Thank you. So
To the minutes.
we get to the minutes.
No board members. I make a motion to approve the draft minutes for the East Hampton Town Zoning Board of Appeals for January 10th, 2022.
Second.
I concur.
I concur. So should I make a resolution? Do you want me to close?
do it
Somebody else
yourself.
want to close it
Let
tonight?
Joan close it.
Let Joan close. Joan's got the time.
Does she ever watch? Does she know the time?
We'll look to Joan to adjourn the meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting of the zoning board of appeals of East Hampton Township of January 17th, 2023 at 6:48 PM.
I'll second that.
I concur.
I concur as well. And so we set some sort of